So the first game week in League One is finally over. It's now time for me to give you my score predictions for game week 2. Before I do, smash the like button for me. Let me know down in the video comments your score predictions for this weekend's fixtures. And also, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. I make Luton and EFL content. As part of my score prediction series, I am competing with AI to see who can get the most score predictions correct throughout the season. And at this moment in time, AI have taken an early lead. They managed to get one score prediction correct in last week's fixtures. I didn't get a single one correct. I was close on a few occasions, but ultimately, I didn't get the Doncaster versus Exeter right, which AI did. They predicted a 1-0 win, and yeah, they're now 1-0 up. Let's hope I can actually get some score predictions correct, otherwise it won't be a very good series this season. So let's start off with our first game of game week 2. It's Port Vale versus Cardiff, which is on a Thursday night, which is just insane. League football should not be on a Thursday night. That's for European competition. But anyway, Port Vale v Cardiff. The attacking display from Cardiff against Peterborough was very good. They could have easily have scored 4 or 5 goals. They did have some shaky moments at the back. Port Vale, I think, had a bit of a reality check in the first half against Rotherham. Also going down to 10 men certainly didn't help. I think being the home side, they will perform better and they will give Cardiff a much more of a test compared to what Peterborough did. I'm leaning towards draw, Cardiff win. I'm going to go with my heart. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Cardiff, with Port Vale making it very difficult. Peterborough versus Luton. Luton did not perform well against AFC Wimbledon, but despite not performing well, managed to get the 3 points. An own goal late on, and if you're not performing well, what do you need to do when you're not performing well? Still manage to get points, and that's exactly what Luton did. As I've already mentioned, Peterborough defensively, they didn't look great against Cardiff. Cardiff could have scored 4 or 5, as I've already mentioned, and I do worry about the defence of Peterborough, the youthful side of them. It's very inexperienced, it's very disjointed. I can see Luton performing much better going forward. I think Peterborough, they will cause Luton plenty of problems on the counter. Peterborough's attack, it's quick, it's strong, it's skillful. It will cause any team problems, and I think they will cause problems maybe towards the end in this game. I think Luton will have a comfy 2-0 lead. Peterborough will score late on, and then Luton will manage to hold on. So I've gone with Luton to win away here, 2-1. Reading versus Huddersfield. Now, this is the first game at home under the new ownership at Reading, so I expect a bit of a good feel factor around the place. Despite losing their first game of the season against Lincoln, Reading still had plenty of chances, but just didn't take advantage while being on top against them. Meanwhile, Huddersfield, they started off the season very well, beating Leyton Orient 3-0 at home. They did concede a lot of chances though, but the new group of players managed to get off to a really good start. And it'd be really interesting to see how those group of players continue in the opening month of the season, because the quicker they can gel, the better and the most likely chance they will have at competing for promotion. But the longer it takes for them to gel, I think they might find it a little bit difficult at the top end. So at the moment, it's a fantastic start. I feel like Reading will be a much bigger challenge compared to Orient, so I'm going to go with a 1-1 score prediction here. I think Reading, it wasn't a terrible performance against Lincoln, so if they perform like that, I think Huddersfield will have a couple of problems. AFC Wimbledon versus Lincoln. As I've already mentioned when talking about the Luton game, Wimbledon were very unlucky not to come away with something at Luton. Defensively very strong, but they did lack any real attacking quality. And until I see it, I'm going to keep predicting that Wimbledon are not going to score many goals. Lincoln, they made the most of their chances against Reading and they got off to a really good start to this season. I can see Lincoln scoring goals this year. I think Street and Hackett are going to be very important in this game for Lincoln. I think if they can run at the Wimbledon defence, they will have a lot of success, because Wimbledon's defence, and to be honest with you, not many defences like being run at. But against Luton, they looked very shaky when that did happen. So I think if Street and Hackett can get on the ball and dribble at them, they will have some success. You don't want to go long and direct against this Wimbledon side. So I think Lincoln will manage to break through and walk away with a 1-0 win. Barnsley versus Burton. I think the winner of this game would be the team that wins the battle in midfield. Great start to both teams winning their first match of the season. I just feel like the attacking quality as well will be a little bit too much for Burton to handle. Barnsley have already managed to score 3 goals this season. They did score 3 goals due to Plymouth defending very poorly at home against them. Despite saying that, I think Burton can make it very difficult, and if they carry on using the form from the back end of last year into this new season, I don't see any reason why they can't walk away with something. They do love a shot from distance. Charlie Webster, in particular, scored 2 amazing goals against Mansfield last week, but I've got a feeling that Barnsley will come away here and get the 3 points. I've gone with a 2-0 home win. Bolton versus Plymouth. Now, both teams lost their first game of the season, but out of the two, I think Bolton fans will be a bit more confident, especially with how they attacked in the first half against Stockport. They did lack a plan B, but I think that's due to having injuries up top. Plymouth defensively, they didn't look good, but despite saying that, they had loads of chances. Caleb Watts was pretty much involved in everything attacking wise, which they did. I personally think Plymouth at this moment in time of recording, they lack a couple of additions throughout their team. I think they need to add a couple more quality players. I think they're going to get a few loan players before the window closed. I think Bolton right now are just a stronger side, so I'm going with a 2-1 home win to Bolton. Exeter versus Blackpool. Exeter, for me, they did not look good away against Doncaster, and considering Doncaster just won promotion from League 2 to League 1, what's going to happen against a very good Blackpool team that look very strong? Blackpool, yes, they lost against Stevenage, but that was due to stupid individual mistakes. Attacking-wise, they still look very dangerous, and I just don't know if Exeter can stop Blackpool from scoring. So I've gone with a 2-0 Blackpool win. I think they're going to bounce back following their defeat against Stevenage. I just have a massive question mark on Exeter this year. I just don't think they look good at all. And until I see that they can do something this season, I'm going to keep predicting them not to win games of football. I do worry about them massively, and just the amount of chances they conceded against Doncaster was not great. But yes, they are the home side here, so maybe there will be a few differences. I'm not too sure. I've gone with Blackpool to win 2-0. Leyton Orient versus Wigan. Now, Orient, their manager, was not happy after losing 3-0, and rightly so, because they did defend very poorly for the goals. I thought they could have done a lot better. They had plenty of chances against Huddersfield, but unfortunately didn't make the most of those chances. I personally think Wigan, they must be so confident after seeing their side win 3-1 against Northampton, scoring 3 goals. They've got really strong defensive foundations in place, and with adding a few couple of attacking players like Sadie and also Mullins up top, there's a bit more confidence that Wigan can actually score goals this year. But because I expect Orient to have a reaction following their 3-0 defeat in the opening weekend of the season, I think it's going to make it really tough for Wigan to beat them. So I've gone with a 1-1 score prediction. I'm finding it really tough to separate who can win in this game. I've also gone with another 1-1 score prediction in the Mansfield versus Doncaster game. In this game, I don't really know what to expect. Mansfield weren't exactly poor against Burton. Again, they didn't take their chances, but conceded 2 very good goals by Charlie Webster. Donny should have beaten Exeter by more than 1 goal. It was a good performance from them. So I feel like because Mansfield lost the first game of the season, I expect them to raise their game a little bit. And yeah, Donny are going to make it a little bit challenging. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 score prediction. Northampton versus Bradford. I'm going with Bradford here. 1-0 away from home. Winning against Wycombe was a class result, and I think they will carry that confidence into this game. Northampton, I just don't know, attacking-wise, how well they're going to do this year. Because, yes, they scored against Wigan, but 3-0 down, didn't really look like they can score more than the 1 goal which they did. I just don't know who's going to score the goals for Northampton this season. I feel like they will perform better than they did at Wigan, but I don't see them breaking down Bradford. I think they are well structured at the back. They're very organised. I think with the confidence from beating Wycombe, I think Bradford will walk away with the win. So I've gone with a 1-0 win to the away side. Stevenage versus Rotherham. This game, I've just decided that there's going to be goals. I don't have a particular reason why. I just think there's going to be goals. Stevenage scored 3 goals. Rotherham scored 2 goals last week. Reid and Sam Nombe, the strikers for both clubs, they've started to score goals already this season. So I can't really separate which side is going to win. I've just gone with a draw. 2-2 draw. Plenty of goals. It's going to be very entertaining. I can't separate them. And then the last game of game week 2 is Wycombe versus Stockport. Wycombe lost against Bradford 2-1. They had chances but unable to walk away with something. Started the game very poorly, but then Stockport also started the game very poor against Bolton, conceded a lot of chances, but they managed to overcome that wave of momentum from the Bolton attack, and their quality did eventually show towards the end of the first half. And then the same again in the second. They managed to kind of stop Bolton from creating those chances, and then they got the goal to kill the game off against Bolton. I just can't see Stockport losing. It's either going to be a draw or Stockport are going to walk away with the win. And because of how Stockport, despite having a couple of players out injured, managed to deal with the Bolton attack quite well, I've got a feeling Stockport are going to get a result. I can see Wycombe scoring like they did against Bradford, but I just feel like Stockport, the quality is just going to show again. I've gone with a 2-1 away win for the Hatters. So just to recap on the scores that I've picked for this game week. So I've gone with 2-1 to Cardiff, 2-1 to Luton, 1-1 between Reading and Huddersfield, 1-0 to Lincoln away to Wimbledon, 2-0 to Barnsley, 2-1 to Bolton, Blackpool to win away against Exeter, 1-1 between Leyton, Orient and Wigan, 1-1 between Mansfield and Donny, Bradford to beat Northampton 1-0 away from home, 2-2, plenty of goals between Stevenage and Rotherham, and I've also gone with Stockport to beat Wycombe 2-1 away from home. Then I decided to ask AI, what's your score predictions for game week 2? And funny enough, it's quite similar to mine. There's a couple of differences, but it's roughly the same as what I've put down. They've gone with 2-1 to Cardiff. They've gone 3-1 to Luton. They've gone 1-1 between Reading and Huddersfield. They've gone 2-0 to Lincoln. They've gone with 2-0, the same with Barnsley and Burton. They've gone 2-2 between Bolton and Plymouth. They think Plymouth can walk away with a point. I don't. They've gone with a 2-1 win for Blackpool away to Exeter. They've gone 1-1 between Leyton Orient and Wigan. They've also put 2-2 for Mansfield and Donny. They've also gone with 1-0 for Bradford away against Northampton. 1-1 between Stevenage and Rotherham, and also 2-1, exactly the same as what I put down for Stockport to beat Wycombe. So a couple of the same score predictions there, but just a couple of differences. Let's see if I can actually get some right in this game week 2. At the moment, I am 1-0 down against AI. So thank you for watching Game Week 2 score predictions. Let me know down in the video comments your score predictions for Game Week 2. Smash the like button for me as well. Just a polite reminder, I do not hate your side. This is just a score prediction. I don't mean to cause any offence with my score predictions. Hopefully, as games go on, I'll be able to give you a lot more input on why I'm predicting a team to win a certain game. At the moment, I'm going off by one game in the season. So hopefully, as the season goes on, we will get a lot more intelligent football knowledge appearing on these videos. The next piece of content on my channel will be a watch-along live stream on YouTube. I will be watching the Port Vale versus Cardiff City game. So if you're free and available, make sure you come and join the live stream and talk to me and watch the game together. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.